we were waiting, we were talking about the best burgers in Bloomington. So you have to go to one place for a burger. Where do you go and what do you have on it?
Ooh, burger. Honestly, the one that we used to do for the radio show that JD took us to, I don't know what it's called, but he probably knows better than me, but they have pretty good burgers there. So
Now the real question. Coach was talking earlier about when teams pressed him as a player, he always loved it because you just get out and run and you get a lot of if you take advantage of that press, you get a lot of easy opportunities. So are you kind of looking forward for that to kind of play out that way against the St. John's team in the press sheet for 40?
most definitely. I think that it's a really good opportunity for us, especially earlier in the season, to play a team, especially that presses the whole game and gets up the floor and tries to speed you up. It's almost like Big Ten level of play. So what we're going to have to do, especially with some of these guards like X and Rob, just be patient with the ball and just make the right plays. And I know that they will. And then it's an easy break if we beat the press 2-on-1, 3-on-2 type of thing. So we've been working on it a lot in practice. So we just have to execute.
Jeff.
Hey, Trayce, working on a story on race and sort of his development. I'm kind of curious, what have you seen from him that's new this year? And what are the things that impress you the most about him as a teammate and what he does in the basketball court?
I think some of the things that stand out to me about Race are obviously even more than last year. He was engaged last year, but his approach to the game this year is at a different level. He's really taken it almost, it's like a professional level to him. He's being a really, really good captain. He's leading these young guys. He's helping people do what they need to do on and off the court. And then on the court, he's just working on his game. He's trying to get his three-point shot right. He saw one fall last game, so hopefully that he can continue to do that. But he's just really been working on his craft and working on his game and just trying to be the best player that he can be. So.
Tyler.
Hey, Trayce, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. You said earlier that you felt like your work ethic has gotten better since last season. I guess reflecting on that, why don't you think your work ethic was at the point that you wanted it to be last season? And was there a point where like something clicked for you?
Most definitely. I think that it wasn't that I wasn't working hard, but it was just I wasn't reaching the level that I didn't. It's like the next gear. I thought that I was proceeding the maximum effort that I could, and then Coach Woodson got here and he said, no, you need to be able to take it to this notch. And so that's what I've been trying to do every day. And obviously just trying to be in the gym and work on my game and just not just going during practice and just staying after practice, but going in the mornings before, like 3 or 4 hours before practice or late at night, and just trying to be in the gym multiple times a day and not just once or twice. So that's really big for me. And then I think that it's reaping the benefits. I think I'm in better shape, better conditioning, obviously. And I think I'm playing at a pretty high level on defense as well. So.
Matthew.
Hey, Trayce, hope you're doing well. So far this season, I think you shot 4 for 7 on jumpers. Where do you feel your jump shot is right now? And is there still emphasis from Coach Woodson on maybe shooting a few more in the game?
Oh, most definitely. It's just something that I'm just going to continue to work on in practice. And I'm just going to, whatever the defense gives me, I'm going to take. So if they want to give me a jumper, I'm going to shoot a jumper. If they want to play up, I'm going to drive past them and try to score. So it's really just a big emphasis. Coach Woodson wants me to be a complete player. He doesn't want just me to be a back to the basket player. And so that's what I'm going to keep doing.
Justin.
Hey Trayce, how have you seen X improve since he's been in camp? Basically, where have you kind of seen him involved? How have you seen him grow as a leader and just as an overall point guard?
X, I think he's more comfortable now. Even when we were in the Bahamas and earlier in practice, I don't think he was comfortable yet. Off the court, obviously, he was really comfortable, but on the court, he's more vocal. He's talking to us, and that's what you need from your point guard. So it's really big for us. He gets guys in spots that they need to be, and then I think that he's starting to get comfortable going downhill and making plays for his teammates. So I think that's really good for him. And he's shooting the ball at a high rate, especially last game. So we need him to continue doing that, and I think that his confidence is just growing. So that's really big for him.
Chase.
Hey, Trayce, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know St. John's been one of your first biggest tests of the year. You guys coming out the new AP poll put you at 27. What would this show to the nation that, if you guys were able to compete at a high level against a good team like St. John's, setting up for you guys down the road?
Well, most definitely. I think this is a tournament game. It's one that's going to look really good on your resume because St. John's is a really good team, and they're coming into a packed Assembly Hall. So we're going to have to go out and we're going to have to compete at a high level. They're averaging like 105 points per game. So it's something that we're going to have to do. I know they force a lot of turnovers, so we're going to have to take care of the ball, and we're going to have to play at our own pace. We can't let them dictate the game. We got to dictate them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kevin, Alex, then we'll finish up with Jim. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, Trayce, you got a little shot blocking standpoint last game. I'm just curious how much of that aspect of your game did you work on during the off season, and how much is that being emphasized by the coaching staff, rim protection, even the other guys up front?
I don't think I wouldn't necessarily say it's new to me with shot blocking. I just think that in this defense, it's a little different. Coach Woodson wants me to go and block the ball. He wants me to lead my man to go help on the other side. While in the other defense, I was more of an anchor and I need to block out my guys. So we call it launching pad. So basically, if I'm in the middle or a guy drives from the other wing, he wants me to go get it every time. So that's a big emphasis with him, and especially when we came back, because earlier in the year, I would wait and I would try to block out my guy, and he would get mad at me, and you'd say, "You need to go get that." So I'm just trying to time the ball, and I feel like I have pretty good timing with that. So something I'm going to continue to work on, and hopefully I can just excel at.
Okay, Alex, then we'll finish up with Jim.
Trayce, it's kind of a follow-up to what you just said. How much of the block shots and the activity that you're showing in terms of rebounding is a result of the change in the system, or is it a result in you putting more of an emphasis on that this season? Because it sounds to me like you are making a concerted effort to maybe play a little bit harder than you did in the past.
Most definitely. I think defensively, I really try to turn it up a notch, especially help my teammates on drives, because I know they can't be perfect every time. So I'm just trying to pick up their slack a little bit and be able to get those blocks and get those rebounds, rebounding out of my area, as Coach Fife would say. So he said last year I didn't do that very often. So just trying to go attack the boards and just try to get blocks and help my teammates out, honestly.
Okay, Jim Coyle, you have the last question.
Trayce, you talk about taking your play up a level, and you have in the last game. But more importantly, how hard is it for you to maintain that level and to maintain it throughout the game, as we saw in the last game out against Northern Illinois?
In Northern Illinois, I think that it was kind of solidified where we were playing at a very high level. We were up by 30, 35 points. So I was trying to make a bigger emphasis on getting my teammates involved and just trying to help them get their group going, because we know I need all of them for this next game. So that was a big thing for me. And then I kind of tweaked my neck a little bit. So I was kind of just taking it a little slow. And then Coach Woodson pulled me about 10 to 12 minutes left. So I was fine with the outcome. And obviously with that score being like that, I was good with it. But if it's at a St. John's like necessarily, and it's a 4 3-point game, there was 8 minutes left in the game, I'm going to continue to play at the level that I was.